could be a fun year at wide receiver, but I still think Fant will dominate this year. Fant's speed combined with Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler running in the slot are going to be tough to stop. So Noah Fant, I think, man, he has a chance to really break out this year. And looking at the Broncos tight end room, not great known depth. Obviously, there's some hope on Albert Okwuegbunam, but this is going to be the Noah Fant show for the tight end position.
So we're talking about, Noah Fant, 93 targets, 62 catches. He should be open a lot more. Less contested catches. If you've got running 3 wide receivers and Fant and a single back, how do you take away the middle of the field for Noah Fant when you got Sutton back, you got Jeudy out there, you got Hamler in the slot, you've even got guys who can catch the ball out of the backfield in Williams and Gordon. So how do you take away Fant? And we talk about matchup nightmares. That's what's going to make him so tough. So, I expect even if his targets don't go up, I think his receptions and his yards will increase because he should have more space. He should absolutely have more space in this offense this year.
Yeah, no, and I think Fant has got a chance to really just dominate this season. He had a personal tragedy where his mother passed away. So thinking about him this offseason in general, but also looking at him, 3rd-year tight end, I think 23 years old this year. This is typically when you start to see a tight end who's going to be a star really blossom. And looking at his body, even he's filled out. He came in, he was a good athlete, but he was only 21 years old, drafted. And I was like, he's an F tight end.
Tight end's a bitch of a position because, you have to do all the blocking, but then you still have to run sprints with the receivers. So it's still a grown man's position. And we've talked a bunch about how that's so much different in the trenches than it is at the skill positions. Running backs are born, 21-year-old running back. He might be as good as he's ever going to get at 24 years old. Or get, and start going down. Whereas a tight end, he can play till he's 35, 36 years old because that's more it's still a skill position, but it's also a line position. So what he can do should only improve as he gets older. So he's just scratching the surface. Prime of a tight end is going to be 28 to 32 years old, not 21 to 25 like some of these other skill positions.
Yep, no, 100%. And I want to get to this comment here from EJ saying Shermer needs to use his tight ends more often this year. And I don't necessarily disagree with you. There's narratives out there, and then you want to look at the data to see how those narratives match up with what's actually going on out there. And I wanted to share this blip right here. Once I get to it, my producer's working on it. There we go. All right. So we're talking tight ends and targets per game for the tight end position last year. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's the Broncos at number 4 overall at 9.2 targets per game to the tight end position. The only teams above them have 3 of the best 4 tight ends in football. The Raiders, 10.6. Obviously, Darren Waller. The Eagles, 10.6. They have not only Zach Ertz, but they also have Dallas Goedert, who's one of the best emerging tight ends in the league. Kansas City with 10.1. And then the Broncos at 9.2. So obviously, looks like there's a decent difference there, and a bunch of teams kind of jumbled in there with from about 9.2 all the way to 8. But still, this narrative that the Broncos do not target the tight end doesn't line up statistically. So I think an important thing to note there, and I'm really excited for Fant this year. I think that he has a chance to explode. It's another position that's completely dependent on the quarterback. Drew Lock needs to obviously take steps forward to not be a low-ranked quarterback, even if he's average, though. I think Noah Fant can explode, and I think he's going to get paid too. That's one of the guys, Broncos, they have cash right now, whatever. There's not many great tight ends. Noah Fant's skill set, how he's improving, his athleticism, not as plug and play ready, I would say, as TJ Hawkinson as a blocker and kind of the contested catch stuff. But the speed that he brings in the middle of the field, the size, and now with how big he is, honestly, and he improved so much as a blocker last year. Not enough credit for how much he improved as a blocker. Coming in, I was like, Noah Fant probably going to be best as an F tight end because of the athleticism. With how he blocked last year, his frame continuing to fill out, I think he could easily be a Y